How's everybody doing? This is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you some good news from the Trump administration. We have some border wall activity going on. Now, I know some of you are kind of upset about Donald Trump. If you voted for him, you're like, hey, where's the wall? I wanted the big, beautiful wall that's going to rival the Great Wall of China on Inauguration Day. I wanted to have his face on it. I wanted all of that to happen. I want all 30 million illegal immigrants to be deported on day one. You know, some of your expectations are a little bit unrealistic, but we do have some positive movement. We have some prototypes of the border wall going up right now as we speak in San Diego, California. What I'm going to do right now before I get into the actual story any further is show you a video from Fox News. They'll show you what's going on. They're going to be right down there on the ground in San Diego talking about the wall, what's going on, who's involved, what are they actually doing. After we get done with that, I'll talk about that video and then I'll give you my 2 cents about the wall and I wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, go ahead and roll it.
8 different prototypes by 6 different companies. Today's the day the dirt actually moves. It'll be about a week or two before you'll actually see something of significance because they got to build the base and that type of thing. But behind me, this is where people will go in and have been going in since sunup this morning, and they've been taking the equipment in as those 6 different companies prepare the prototypes to show the Department of Homeland Security. About a mile from here, towards the end of the wall here in eastern parts of San Diego is where the actual prototypes are being built. Now, this is all, of course, the culmination of the border wall that's been really talked about since the 90s, but more recently became more famous, if you will, when Donald Trump came down that escalator in New York, then at the time becoming candidate Donald Trump, and at his announcement making such an important and large part of that announcement about this wall, the culmination now really being today. Take a listen.
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me, and I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
Infamous words that down here you talk about and the country's talked about since that time. The movement really began, if you talk to people here in the border, including the Border Patrol, a couple of weeks ago. They had to prepare everything. They had to widen the roads. They had to put up barriers. They had to put up fencing in case there were protesters. That's been going on again for a couple of weeks. And there is expected opposition to this. We know the state of California filed a lawsuit, and they've joined immigrant rights groups and also groups that are supporting the help of the environment. Take a listen.
In this case, DHS is going forward with the prototypes and the border wall replacement and the border wall in general without even giving lip service to these environmental protections.
Once again today, Bill, 8 different prototypes, the beginning process of that by 6 different companies. We've seen all the different earth movers come in. It'll be, they say, 4, 5, 6 days before you'll see anything of significance. They have to obviously level the land, get everything prepared, and start the process, build the forms and the bases and that kind of thing. That's beginning today, Bill. We do expect to get some video of that at some point. But as you might imagine, down here, the energy, as the Border Patrol will tell you, they've been preparing this for over a year. So the energy of everybody involved, opposition and those in favor and those who just have to facilitate it, is very high. Bill?
We'll see what happens then. Thank you, Adam. Adam Housley near the border,
right.
San Diego and Mexico.
Okay, so you saw the video. Now, I mean, are you happy? I mean, I'm happy. I'm glad that we're seeing some movement going on. Now, what they mean by prototypes, they don't mean just like little stuff like you be able to build in a lab or something in your classroom, like a toy model truck. They're talking about real walls that are going to be constructed right there in the border, at the border in San Diego, California. So what's going to happen is it'll be a selection process to say, okay, which one will we continue to build? And that's a good place to do it right there in San Diego, because obviously you got a border right there between San Diego and Tijuana, Mexico. So that'd be a good place to start it. Start it right there to see how it works. And I also want to see how it works when you're talking about the water, because right there in between those 2 cities, you have a beach in a certain point. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that works. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can really get this thing moving much more quickly. Hopefully we can get the funding for it. That'll be a good part of it as well, because some people are kind of upset that we have not, constructed the wall yet. They're saying, oh, he's just renovating existing structures and fixing fences. I want a real wall. Well, we're getting one step closer to it, and I'm interested to see how the wall is going to look. Are we going to have the Great Wall of China? Will Trump put his face on it? Is it going to be laden with gold and silver and pearls and everything else? Will it have rubies every 25 miles and the big obelisk as a post? What is it going to be? I've seen things talking about they may have solar panels on it. Now that would be something interesting right there. I think that'll pretty much quiet down the humanitarian, the environmentalist type people that say, oh, you can't have a wall, it's going to destroy the environment. Nah, well, what about this? What about solar panels? Because a lot of these environmentalists, air quotes environmentalists, will be all for solar farms, right? Which take up a lot of real estate, physical ground real estate. You're talking about large areas that have to get cleared out in order to build a solar farm. And then beyond that, you're talking about the wildlife and stuff that would come in contact with it, birds, any kind of flying animal, or anything that kind of soars, birds, insects, or whatever. When they go over that superheated surface, it could cause them a lot of, physical distress, maybe even kill them. So, the environmentalists, they're kind of just phony. A lot of that is just for show. But then when you put solar into it, that might hurt the environment more, but it doesn't matter because it's going to pretty much quell them, and it would provide some, renewable energy, air quote, quote unquote. And it's also supposed to be see-through, which is good because you want to be able to see if anybody's on the other side doing anything nefarious. If you have a loved one over there, you'll be able to see them until they come over. It'll be good. I like to see, nice doors in it, nice checkpoints, added border security. I think that's what we need as a nation going forward, because right now there's certain parts of the southern border that have no air quotes barrier, like Hillary Clinton said, no barrier, no fencing, no security, no nothing. It's just porous. You could pretty much just go straight through it. And also there's parts of the so-called fence that we have right now that are easily scalable. I saw one video where it was some guys with these big backpacks on scaling the actual fence. So I have to imagine that these guys that were scaling the fence did not come over the fence with, cookies and stuff like that for Santa Claus. I'm pretty sure it was drugs in those backpacks, which is also a very big problem with the border security. You're allowing drugs, guns, human beings that are being smuggled against their will to come flowing across that border. So as I close, I think that the border wall being constructed is a good thing. Let's have the best of the best down there in San Diego, Tijuana, right at that border. Let's see what it is. I would think that Trump would have, open discussion about it, present each prototype on TV or something like that, or on that little station he has, present it on there so we're all able to see it live and direct. Let's see the actual prototypes in full living color. Have a video camera crew go down there, have Fox News or somebody, or your own cameras go down there and actually record it being built. And then after the prototypes are completed, let's see what the prototypes look like, and let's get a full list of specs. Is it going to have solar? Is it going to be see-through? Is it going to be deep into the ground? Is it going to be high into the sky? Are we going to have barbed wire? Are we going to have, electric fences? Are we going to have a moat with sharks and alligators and whatnot in it? I'm very interested to see how it's going to end up playing out, but I have a lot of faith that we're going to have a good border wall and good border security, both of which we need in order to help our country go forward in a positive way. So what do you think? Do you think that the border wall will be constructed? Do you think that the prototypes that are being constructed right now in San Diego are all for show? Do you think that the prototypes that are being constructed will be implemented throughout the entire wall? From San Diego, which is like the furthest point west of the southern border, all the way down to Texas, like Brownsville, right? Will it go all the way that way? Will it be effective? Will we be able to combat illegal immigration with the border wall and with added border security? Whatever your comments are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.